Dear students, till today, as we are seeing the principles of management, the nature and principles of management, and the features of management, that is, importance of management, principles of management. Now, today we are going to see regarding the next part, that is Henry Fayol's principles of management. Henry Fayol has laid the 14 principles. And in this 14 principle, he has said whatever the things according to the observation of him in the organization. So, first of all, we are going to see the biography of Henry Fayol. You can see here 1841 to 1925, the period of Henry Fayol. He was a French mining engineer, and he had worked as a successful manager in a particular institution or in a company. And he also started his career as a mining engineer in French mining company, as a position of chief managing director. And after conducting various experiments and observation in the particular company or in a particular organization, he came to the conclusion regarding these 14 principles of management, which are led by him. Why these principles are required in the particular management? If the principles are used in the particular management, in the particular organization, the management or the organization can move in a smooth manner or in the efficient manner, you can see. So, what are these 14 principles? Henry Fayol is called as the father of modern management. So, he laid the principle. The first principle, you can say, the principle of division of work. He has divided, the work should be divided into small parts. The work should be divided into different parts. And if the work is divided, you can see the work is done efficiently by the employees or the particular worker. Whatever the work may be, it will be done efficiently due to the division of work. And the division of work may be technical, financial, commercial, into different parts. How the work is divided among the particular employee. So this is the first principle, you can say. Secondly, we have the principle of authority and responsibility. It is said that authority and responsibility are the two sides of the same coin. If there is authority, you can work with the responsibility. That means you are responsible for the particular work. तुमच्याकडे जबाबदारी आहे आणि ही जबाबदारी का आहे? कारण तुम्हाला अधिकार आहे ते काम करण्यास. You have the authority to work, and that means you are working responsibly. So he has seen that authority always comes with the responsibility, and if the manager is given or if the particular employees are given the authority, they work in efficient manner. The third principle, you can say, the principle of discipline. Each and every work needs discipline. Wherever you go, it needs discipline. So there should be discipline in work, discipline in everywhere. So if the work is having discipline part, then the most essential thing in the organization which needs discipline. Employees must work in a disciplined manner. Then only the work can be done in an efficient manner. What are the rules are to be followed, regulations are to be followed, they are to be governed by the particular employees. So the principle of discipline is very essential in the part of management. Fourth, we can see the principle of unity of command, and the fifth is unity of direction. So these fourth and fifth principle are somewhat same. There is a little bit difference in the fourth principle, that is principle of unity of command. Each and every organization should receive a particular command from the particular authority. This principle helps in managing the particular conflicts between the organization, the conflict between the employees. If the particular command is not given to the particular employee, then what will happen? There will be conflicts and there will be misunderstanding among the employees in the organization. Similarly, if there is no unity of direction, principle of direction, or the principle of unity of direction, it also states that there should be one head and one plan in every organization. Every person should command on the particular employees. One head, suppose there is a particular manager working in the organization, so he should manage the particular crowd of people, the employees working in the organization, in a disciplined manner. The direction given by him should be particular and suitable to the employees. They should not feel that it is a burden for the particular organization, whatever we are working, or he is putting burden on us. So there should be a particular direction in the organization. So principle of unity of command and principle of unity of direction is somewhat same. So command should be from a particular superior. Then sixth principle, you can say principle of subordination of individual interest to organizational interest. When you are working together, what is the feature of organization? What is the feature of management? Says that management is a group activity. It is an organizational activity where many people work together. And where there is an organization, that means when the people are working together, they should give subordination to the group activity, not to the individual. I have done this particular thing. I have done this everything. I have managed this and everything. I have managed this program. Not like that. We have managed, or the particular organization has managed this program or the particular process, or the organization process, you can say. So you should give a subordination to the organizational interest and not to the individual interest. So this principle states that. Then seventh principle, you can say the principle of centralization. So what is centralization? Centralization refers to the concentration of power and authorities. Whatever the powers are given to the particular person, to the particular employee working in the organization, he should be centralized. He should work in a centralized manner. Whatever the work is assigned to him, he should work with the particular duties performed to him. So according to this principle, there must be a proper balance between centralization and decentralization. So this principle states that. How the organization, now it is very important how the organization is, what is the size of organization, what is the status of organization, how many people are working in that particular organization, the nature of organization, it depends on that. So this principle states there should be centralization in the organization. The eighth principle, that is principle of remuneration. वेतन, व्यक्तीला दिले जाणारे वेतन, ते जे काम करतात त्यांना मिळणारा मोबदला. So remuneration is the part that is of the staff employee to keep satisfied for what he is working. Each and every person is working for his remuneration, his salary, his wages, whatever it is. We can say in different words, the salary, wages. So whatever the duties are assigned to him, so he should be paid for the particular remuneration. If he is working for 8 hours, he should be paid for 8 hours. The remuneration should be given according to the hours he is working, according to his discipline, according to his skill, knowledge. That remuneration should be fixed in the particular thing. The cost of living, the tenure, what is the condition of market today, what is the position today, what is the employee, what is the economic condition. So based on these factors, the remuneration should be fixed. Then the principle of scalar chain. The persons are working in the particular scalar chain. Organization is just like a chain, holding the hand in hand and working together in the mutual interest, and that is very important. And so it is said that they should, whatever the flow of organization is there, the flow of authority from the top level to the lower level, top level to the middle level, and middle level to the lower level management, that is important. Last year we have studied the levels of management. So authority flows like that. It is just like a scalar chain working from one part to another. Then we can say the principle next is, that is 10th principle, principle of order. Each and every thing should be in order in the particular manner. A place for everything and everything in its place. This is a statement we can say. So whatever the place is there for the particular thing, it should be kept in the particular place. Human resource and material should be in the right place at the right time for the maximum efficiency. If they are in the right time, if they are in the right place, you can increase the efficiency. So principle of order, state the utilization of physical and human resources also. The 11th principle, that is principle of equity. Management should be fair and friendly to the subordinate. Not only fair, but it also as well as friendly to the subordinates while dividing the work, delegating the authorities, deciding the monetary terms. There should be fair terms. It will create an equity in the organization and not the conflicts in the organization. So principle of equity states this. Then the 12th principle, you can say the principle of stability of tenure. What is the term of the particular employee he is working? So it should be specified by the organization when he starts working or after the particular interview, when you are making that particular person to work for the organization, he should be given a particular letter with the stability of tenure. So stability of tenure plays an important role in creating sense of belongingness among the employees. A very good statement, you can say. Insecurity in job always affects the efficiency of the organization, efficiency of the particular person. How many years, whatever the contract is there, so according to that contract or according to the lifelong, you can say, so he has to work, the particular tenure has to be given to the employee. Then the 13th principle is the principle of initiative. How much initiative is taken by himself in volunteering in order to do the work in initiative way. The freedom to think and to work on new ideas encourages employees to take initiative while working a given task. This initiative should be welcomed by the manager, including to the decision or the discussion on those ideas. And the last principle, we can say the principle of esprit de corps. My dear students, till today we have heard the different stories or parables regarding esprit de corps, that is teamwork. There was a farmer who told his son to bring the bundle of sticks and a single stick. So he told him to break the particular stick. So as soon as he started breaking one by one, it broke. But he told that particular bundle to break it. So what happened? It was unable by him, that particular son, because there was a unity of sticks. There was a bundle of sticks. Many sticks were together, so he couldn't break it. So different parables today or the stories we have heard regarding the teamwork. So if there is a teamwork, you get a particular power among you all in order to work for the organization. So these are the different principles which are given by the Henry Fayol or which are led by the Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol has laid the different examples regarding, or you can say the experiments, the experiences which he had in the particular organization or in the particular management process. He observed that these principles are very useful to the particular employee, and so the employee can work in efficient manner. So if these all principles are used in the organization, I don't think you require any other principle or any other thing in order to work for the organization. So this is the initiative or the Henry Fayol laid this 14 principle in his career. He also started his career as a mining engineer in a particular company and started to rose the position of chief managing director. So this 14 principle gives us the morality in order to work for the organization. So this is the thing we can say according to the principles of management. So Henry Fayol is said to be the father of modern management, and he has laid these 14 principles which help a particular employee in order to work for the organization.